KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We've got Jesse Sanchez over there, and lots of stuff happening in the world. What is going on in your world? We want to know. If you're tuning in just now, we want to say thank you, and thank you for always adding to our show your voice and letting us know where you're tuning in from. That's always much appreciated. We do have something coming up around the corner, which I do say if you can, that would be great. If you cannot, that will be fine. Just remember, any support goes a long way. The story, A Butterfly Story, is coming out tomorrow. Super excited about it. It's one of which I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, getting some really good kind of what I would call like input from people that are looking at the video that I put out there and then reading it to their kids, at least the first few pages. So far it's really good. I added some really good stuff at the kind of last minute moment, but it comes out Barnes & Noble tomorrow. Super excited about that, and then excited about the next book coming out because we got a little headway, which I'm really excited about. My friend who used to work at the Children's Advocacy Center in Covina now works at another children's advocacy center, actually in my backyard in the San Gabriel Valley. So I'm excited about that. We're going to team up and we're going to talk about that book, which is actually entitled A Good Man. But this is the I'm company that actually does all the good stuff for the kids. I have their mug here, and it's got Children's Advocacy Center. You can go to children'sadvocacycenter.org. Evidently, there's a couple of those. But I love this. I actually keep it right next to me at all times just to remind me that there are kids always suffering somewhere. And the stories that they have are the stories that usually don't always make it to the headlines. But if they're in the headlines, then they know about it because they know who the perpetrator is. They know who is the one doing the bad in the meantime. And hopefully they can get ahead of it before it becomes a bad thing. So they're even saying, you know, over COVID, a lot of people kind of don't know what it is that they do. And so I said, hey, why don't we team up together? And so we're talking about that, and I hope the book will, you know, make more headway. We did have a good tweet yesterday with somebody who said, hey, you got to get with an organization that can help people out. Because what I want at the end of the book is a call to action. So if you or a family member or someone that you know needs help, then you know, turn to these people because they do a lot of good. And I'll say this really quick. It's always awesome when you have a bunch of, like, okay, Jesse, you know, like Hell's Angels and like biker dudes, like, what's that show? A lot of people don't know it, but they know the other one with Emilio Rivera and the other ones, the biker gang. Remember that?
You talk about Sons of Anarchy?
That one too. Yeah, Sons of Anarchy. And then
you're talking about off the Mayans?
There you go. Yeah. The Mayans, yeah. Or any biker gang, right? Imagine like a few biker gang members, which are usually rough and tough, big and like strong, and like they look like you don't want to cross them, right? They go to you to court to like, you know, testify against a bad guy. Now, if you were a little kid, would you want that type of like team on your side?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's a thing. That's my point. It's a thing. So that's what some organizations do. They have to be vetted, of course, you know, against certain crimes, certain things that they've done. But they're the first ones going like, we're gonna take you out. I mean, they don't take them out, obviously, but they're there as a plus, and it's completely voluntary. It's completely them doing the right thing, and it's them saying, yeah, you're not going to strong arm this little one. We're going to see you from afar. And so it's a really neat organization. I can't wait to have them on at some point. And it's organizations that like that you go, you know what? Don't be afraid. That's how you have people on your side. And if you know you have people on your side, then at least you can feel protected. So when I found out about that organization, I was like, are you kidding me? And I got to look it up, actually. Let me try to look it up. It's I think it's Bikers Against Abuse or something like that. And yeah. Oh, here it is. BakaWorld.org. Okay. And they vet people for this. It's really awesome. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm not gonna bring it up because it slows down my internet. But if you go to BakaWorld.org, you'll see them. They're a nonprofit. Here's their mission. I love this. Okay, if you don't believe me, this is what it is. Bikers Against Child Abuse exists when the intent to create a safer environment for abused children. We exist as a body of bikers to empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. We stand ready to lend support to our wounded friends by involving them with an established, united organization. And they're a really good organization. By the way, you can find them on Facebook at Bikers Against Child Abuse International. Okay, these are the type of people that do the right thing, and they do it for good. And when they come up, I'm trying to get a photo of these people because... let me see. I'm trying to find one that would be like intimidating to a guy that goes, wait, they know that I'm an abuser. And then the kid's like, yeah, that's right. Don't you abuse me or my mom again. That's what you want. You want like big world stuff. And some of these actually, just go to Bikers Against Child Abuse International. These are guys and girls that are like, I'm going to do that to you. And you go, shoot, I believe it. So that's a good thing about the organization and the kids that they support. It's really good. They have biker rides, like 100-mile rides to, raise money and support for them. But like I say, they have to be vetted and they have to, get a background check, obviously. And they got to go through all of that. But they really are for the kids, 100%. And it's organizations like that you say thank you. Thank you for doing the right thing for the children that a lot of people don't even really give acknowledgement of, because it's those stories that you talk about, but you go, I don't know anybody that has that. But usually, sometimes it's like 3 degrees of separation. People don't talk about it when they grow up. Sometimes they talk about it with their loved one, and then the loved one goes, oh, okay, but they're like, I don't want to talk about it, with everyone. So that's kind of how they roll. I'm looking for some pictures, but they got a lot of promotional stuff. But just imagine a bunch of bikers doing that, Jesse. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. What was the name of that website?
Bikers Against. Which one? The website or the Facebook?
Just the Bikers Against whatever it was. What was it?
Okay. Bikers Against Child Abuse. It's BACA.
So I went to Google. So I just clicked Bikers Against because I didn't know what they were against. They are against so many things, like bikers against bullies, bikers against drug
That's a
drivers.
good one. By the way, if you have a bully in your school, this is what they do. They go to your school and they stay on the outside. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're like, and then they go, "That's my friend. That's my." It's like, did you see Shazam? Shazam was kind of like that for the kids because it was about the orphan kids.
Oh, yes. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and then he shows up, and then they're like, it's like that. So they're kind of the superheroes, and no one wants to cross. If you got, friends that look like that, they're like, forget it. I'm not crossing you anymore. And that's the kind of support that they do. But yeah, Bikers Against Child Abuse. Oh, what are the other things that they're against? Go ahead.
Oh, let's see. What are bikers against? Bikers against bullies, drunk drivers, domestic violence, abuse, sex offenders.
Yep.
Predators. Oh, okay, that's actual predators, sexual predators. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's just people coming together to actually fight these things, because there's way more. There's not enough of them to go around. Let's be real.
Yeah, and so I like that because it's real. I mean, you can't have somebody. You can have somebody dressed up as a superhero, but it's a little dumb. But when kids see biker dudes on their bikes and their Harleys, and they're like, and they're like in a line of 3 or 4 or 6 right behind you, there's no kid gonna mess with you. Okay, you are set for life. All you have to do is just say, I got friends, and they will not do anything. And it's some people go, oh, that's intimidation. Yeah, of the highest kind. I mean, think about it. People will say, oh, I pray to angels. Do you think angels roll as little sissies? I don't think so. They are massively awesome. They got swords. They kill on command. Just be glad they don't kill the bad guy right now. So there you go, because they're invisible, and that would happen.
I'm not gonna lie. Let's I had some people mess with me in high school, or bullies, whatever. The only thing, I did not fight them. I'm not a fan of fighting. I don't want to get hit. So so what I did was I made friends with people who were bigger than me.
Yeah, smart.
And it helped, and it really did help, because the moment they saw me with them, they're like, uh-oh. So I was like, I chose correctly.
Yeah, they don't mess with you. And I say that too. If you're a kid that's been bullied, team up with friends, okay? There is a way to team up with friends. Have good 3 or 4 friends that you always go to, and they'll take care of you, okay? You just do that. And Jesse's right. If you go with person that's bigger than you or bigger than your bully. Go with the person bigger than your bully or older than your bully that doesn't bully, and then you'll be fine. Okay, and then you roll with them, and then you have fun, and then you'll be fine. Okay, the smart ones do that. Other ones are a little shy for that, but that's why I go, okay, as a parent, if you know that, then you go to the school and you find out who the friends are, then you find out the other friends, and then you find out the good friends, and then you go, okay, then you have the good friends over in a, like, what I call supervised fun mode, and then they get to kind of get along, and then they kind of see each other through, and then boom, you don't have to worry about your kid anymore. If you do that, you're ahead of it. If you don't do that, your kid will just, like, if you say, hey, you got to make friends, you got to help them make friends. It's hard to make friends in school when you're shy, or you're kind of to yourself, or you think those are different kids. They just need like a weekend of fun. Take them bowling, take them like, there's a lot of things that you could take them that's fun, that everyone can be, friends with. And then they invite their friends, and then before you know it, your kid gets to be known by everyone, and then they never get bullied. Right, Jesse?
That is true. I'm old, so I'm trying to remember how I made friends with this good dude in high school. So I was in cooking class, and wait, no, it was called home ec, or I don't even remember what they called it. I think it was called foods. And yeah, that's how they got me. I figured I'd be eating. So he was assigned to my cooking station. So he was, let's see, what was he? He was from the Philippines. I think he was Filipino. But he came there, and so me and the other people, we decided to make chorizo and eggs. And he's never had it before, so he was like, "What is that?" So we explained to him what it was, and he was like, "Okay, okay." So he tries it. He looks at it. He was like, "What the heck?" He's like, "I've never had anything like this before." He ate the whole frying pan. Um, so after that we became friends. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." So yeah, I became friends because of food. That's my, I'm like, here you go, here's a cupcake, be my friend. But yeah, no, after he found out that somebody was messing with me, yeah, no, he took care of it. He was just like, from what I remember, I think he like pushed the bully into the dirt, and he said some stuff, and after that it was taken care of.
Yeah,
So I was like,
that's what you need, support. And throughout life, you need support, right? There's always going to be the dumb one, but usually that dumb one stays kind of like, he has some friends, and he usually teams up with other bullies so he can bully. You know what I mean? So bullies do sometimes get other bullies as friends. But I say this, look, throughout life, always know people you can turn to, that you can trust, and just know, even among the people that look mean or look like they can like do you in, they're not all that. They're actually really nice, and that's the best thing that you can kind of take advantage of, and that's why I say organizations like this are really neat. And if you want to donate to this organization, again, it's Bikers Against Child Abuse. Okay, they have different what they call organizationally organized areas that you can actually kind of team up with, called chapters, meaning that they're in different parts of the world. And this is what they service, by the way, Jesse. United States, Australia, Canada, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, Spain. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know bikers were all over the world like this. France, Greece, Iceland, Italy, Netherlands, New Zealand, Austria, Portugal, Switzerland, Sweden, and United Kingdom, Jesse. They are everywhere. I mean, I'm telling you, they got their stuff on straight, right?
right, I'm pretty sure, if more people came together to actually stop bullying in schools and stuff like that, it would be like, I remember seeing, what was it? There was a news report, I think it was from last year, where this school had a bunch of dads come in through the day, to watch over the kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? They behaved in front of the dads, because you know what? You're not going to do anything in front of a dad.
No.
So I thought it was a great program, have the fathers more interactive with the kids, and then, obviously the kids aren't going to be acting up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Look, I'm going to pull up the video here. I can't show it just yet. I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to get it hopefully taken care of. I think we need to get this information out, because I wanted this nonprofit on the show about 3-4 years ago, and it was kind of like a thing to kind of get it scheduled. And I'm not going to lie, you have to see it in order to really appreciate. Let me see if I can get it from online that way I can show you guys. Otherwise, it's one of those things that sometimes I can't do. If I can get it, then we'll get it. Yeah, it's not letting me shoot because it has copyright stuff. Okay, well, anyway, so I can't show that. But here's what I can talk about. People have the ability to, I guess the best way of saying it is you have the ability to do the right thing no matter what. Now, sometimes people think, how can you get to people that have done some bad stuff along the way? And I'm not going to lie, there are bikers that have done that. So they vet them. The reason I say that is you want to make sure, A, they're not abusive people, right? B, they are reformed, right? Because a lot of these guys have done some hard time, all right? And C, can you get people to do the right thing for the kids? And I say yes, especially when they've turned over a new leaf. Usually when they haven't committed a crime for a good 8 years or they've done time, but they haven't done crime. Like, perfect example, Danny Trejo. Do you trust Danny Trejo to say, hey, man, I'm in your corner?
Oh, most definitely. His journey, wow. Like, I don't even quite believe it if I was to hear it.
Yeah.
But, like, when you look into his history, you're like, okay, you know, he actually turned himself around. You know, he realized he made mistakes, and he learned from them, which some people don't.
Yeah. Well, the other one actually also that I like talking about is Emilio Rivera, which we've had him on the show a couple times. And Emilio Rivera, I completely didn't know, like, he had done hard time, right? And he told me, yeah, I did this and this. The ones that don't, like, how do I say, they don't cover up what they did and they're very honest about, you go, oh, okay. And he's in a good relationship, but he remembers being in a bad relationship where he was the abusive one, right? So he knows firsthand what it's like to be that and then go to jail for it, okay? But if you asked him, had he learned from it? Oh, the answer is yes. And has he done the right thing? Yeah, of course. And does he do that to his wife? No. If anything, she would do that to him. All right. So he was honest and open with her and honest and open about his life. And those are the guys that I say, okay, give them a chance. And this company actually does exactly that. Okay, I got a way to finally get it. So when we come back, we're going to take a quick little break. Oops, sorry, something happened to your video there. But what we're going to do, Jesse, is we're going to get that video ready to go because I kind of want to show it. I want to demonstrate it, and I want to show why it's going to be a good thing, especially for people, and the book that's coming out, A Good Man, all right, about abuse and kids that are abused. Because there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, but I'm telling you, there's organizations like this that do the right thing. All right, we'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
What is commitment and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts: the work you need to perform on the inside and the 7 distinct archetypes you will encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
Hi everyone, Dave Levine here. The Dave Levine Show is back on the air, 10 to 11 a.m. Wednesday mornings on KMET 1490. Join me for an hour of Law & Order stories and commentary. Law & Order is now the #1 issue for Californians. If you miss it live, you can hear or watch it 24/7 on either SoundCloud or live stream. See you there. Thank you.
Can't you see with just a few seconds? Express Frame thanks our troops and veterans for everything they've done so fearlessly for us on a daily basis. Send letters or care packages and give blood. Also offer a veteran a job or discount on your local product. It'll be greatly appreciated. That's from Sue and Alex of Express Frame, your complete framing experts with a reputation that precedes them. For more information, call 760-773-9228. Veteran discounts available. That's Express Frame in Palm Desert, the area's best for your framing needs. And they're waving their flags high, saying USA all the way.
Summer's almost here, and you know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems is the one for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and get cool today.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We did a little divergent from what we wanted to kind of share today, which I do have a story here, which is worth sharing. And the headline is 2 years into COVID, some remain in complete isolation. I know a lot of people don't think about this, but Jesse, you talked about a bubble suit, and I'm going to just share this with you. That's what some people are in, Jesse. What do you think about that?
Okay. I actually thought that was a joke.
And that's why I had to show you. I had to be like, look, I want you to see this just for a minute.
Yeah, thank God she's not completely chilled. See, my worst fear about being in the little bubble is getting gassy. So I don't know how that would work out.
Well, this is okay, describe this one. This isn't like
no, this isn't the typical bubble. This is more like a top
like
bubble.
You're stuck with your own gas, Jesse. God.
Yes, that's my worst fear. I don't know. It's just in there and be like, what's that smell? Oh my God, no. But no, this one is just the top part of the bubble. So it's not too bad, but it's still a little bit extreme.
It's basically torso bubble. Okay, that's it. It's not below the torso. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. All right, so here's the situation. Okay, and I think this is worth sharing really quick. It says one woman said she has been isolated for more than 750 days. All right. And this is a situation. Her name is she's an Iowa resident. She has a variable immunodeficiency. Her name is Sarah Ann Willett. For her, stay inside is a life or death decision. Her variable immunodeficiency means she has low levels of protective antibodies and is constantly at an increased risk of falling seriously sick. She said, if there's anyone in the country who suffer the most from lockdown, it's us, because nobody else will do what's necessary so that we don't have to live in lockdown. Now, before that, she had long been taking the health precautions that were implemented nationwide during the pandemic. She wore masks, avoided busy shopping times, and went out for the house for special occasions. She fell ill often and easily, whether it was from a day in the office as a data analyst or a big family gathering. So when the pandemic began, she knew her husband, and her son would have to isolate entirely. Safety precautions are abandoned across the country. Her husband has been told to go back to work in person. She says their livelihoods, literally and professionally, are now at stake. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention relaxed their guidelines. Yeah, did they ever? And I will say that's what I'm against. I'm against anyone that actually says, oh, we're ahead of it. Oh, we no longer have it. Oh, let's just go back to the way it was, because you forget about the people that are really sick already. And in order to curb this, you really kind of got to do the thing that is honestly not popular in America. Now, is it a thing in China? Yes. Has China had to deal with it since 2008? Yes. Have we done this before in the pandemic of the Spanish flu? Yes. We wore face masks. Did they protest in 1918, 1919, 1920? No. So what's the problem with us now is the question I have. People don't like to think that way, but I say, you're complaining about that when you should complain about other things. I mean, and I get vaccinations. I get when people complain about the vaccinations. I get that, because there are things that can happen with the vaccination, especially if it hasn't been tested all the way through. So I get that. But there are things that you can do that are uncomfortable. They're not fun. But at the end of the day, you go outside, take off your face mask, okay? You go inside, put your face mask on. It's not that hard. But when the Centers for Disease Control relax their guidelines, which they've done, then you kind of question when they say, okay, put them back on. Because now they're recommending, I don't know if you saw this, but now if you travel, that you get a test 3 days before you travel, which is odd because they always said you had to get a test before travel anyway. So I'm kind of confused on this. But now they're back to say, oh, we need to be protected because now it's getting out of hand again, as we've already been kind of reporting. So so that's kind of the situation. Other people are like, why are you not just staying, one way and going back and forth? You're kind of like a parent who tells the kid, hey, I'm going to, I don't know if you ever had a parent that flip-flopped, but it's like that, a parent that flip-flops. You don't know what to do. You're like, what do I do,
Yeah, what do you mean parent flip-flopping?
Okay, you didn't have a parent that flip-flopped. Some
No.
people have parents that flip-flop when it comes to what?
No. Whatever my mom says is the truth. So even if it's like, yeah, no. I'm afraid to argue with my mom because if I get it's like if she comes at me too quick, I twitch because I think she's gonna hit me in the back of the head.
Right, I get that. Yeah. Well, some parents they flip-flop, meaning for 3 weeks they may say no this, and then 3 weeks later they say it's all right, and then you go, okay, then it must be all right to do now, and then you do it, and they go 3 weeks later, that's not right to do. You're like, but you did it. Well, that's me, that's not you. And you're like, all right, I don't know what to do. And so people that know, they know, but other people don't understand that because they had a parent that was all the way through always, this is right, this is right, this is right, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Okay. When you have flip-flop parents, then nothing goes good in the end. And that's kind of what the CDC has done. They kind of flip-flop so much, people are like, do I not? Do I not? I've gone to businesses that are in some areas, they're like, are we practicing social distancing? Are we not? I went to several Barnes & Noble because I'm doing a tour to Barnes & Noble. Some wear masks, some do not, and some say we're not ready to go back to events. And then I was like, no, we're ready. We're just doing it safely. And then others are like, we're not doing anything because we're not allowed to. And I'm like, no one's getting the same information. Everybody's working on old information. But as long as you keep kind of steady through it all and say, you know what? We encourage face masks. We encourage social distancing. We encourage certain, implemented safety protocols or things to do. Then we could do it right. I mean, if you allow people in your business, which is what they've been doing, then you can practice social distancing, right? So that's the question of the day. But some places don't even let you use their bathrooms because they're like, oh no, we can't do that. I'm like, that was in 2020. We've kind of gotten past that. Clean your bathroom. My God. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, this story talks about immunocompromised people like this one. Tinu Abayomi Paul, who's 49, who has episodes of cancer, okay, said her 2-year lockdown was no match for the COVID policies. When Texas state-sponsored homeschooling expired, her son went back to school with no COVID restrictions, she said. My 757 days in isolation, I don't care. I'll do it for the rest of my life if that's necessary. But don't expect me to choose between poverty that leads to death or infection that leads to death. My only direction is dead. Yikes. She said it's like the first day they came back, I got sick. I got way sicker than I've been in decades. This is sad. I'm going to share a couple of other pictures as well because this is a situation that other people kind of they complain, but they complain for the wrong reason. And I say, when you look like this and you're feeling bad and you're suffering and no one sees you suffering, it's hard to be all right with it. This is a situation of one, and her name is Cheris Hill. She has to make important health decisions during the pandemic. She's 35, who has a systemic inflammatory disease, and she takes immunosuppressive medications. I said they've been isolated for the past 2 years from their home in California. They had to decide whether or not to get a surgery done and if the hospital would be taking the necessary precautions to make them feel safe. She said, I had a really upsetting experience with the medical provider who refused to wear her surgical mask correctly. Ooh, that's not good. They had the surgery done, but not without concern. She said, from that point up to the day of surgery, I was not focused on surgery at all, but more focused on fighting for my rights as a disabled person of having a safe health environment. Fears about the coronavirus continue to ripple among Americans, according to a report by health research organization KFF. Even with most local and state restrictions lifted, 59% of people surveyed reported limiting their behaviors, 42% doing some but not all the pre-pandemic activities, 17% said they do very few of their normal activities, 27% say they have essentially returned to life as it was before the COVID pandemic, and 40% of respondents have not changed their behavior. Yeah. Again, these are things that I say you got to be careful of. These are the ones talking about it. Here's another one. Dawn Gibson. She says, we do not do anything, and it's devastating. She's a Michigan woman with inflammatory disease, which is hard to pronounce. I'm going to try ankylosing spondylitis, a condition where the bones in the spine can fuse over time. Yikes, that's not good, Jesse. According to this, she has it, number one. She said she's missed work conferences, baby showers, other important life events, all to stay alive and healthy. That's good. When you don't throw caution to the wind and you're like, look, we're going to get ahead of this, but I'm going to do it when it's right. I'm going to stay alive for my family and my loved ones, and that's the right thing to do. Don't throw caution to the wind. What did you say, Jesse? There were COVID parties that they had from time to time?
COVID. Oh, my God. Yes, I remember that. I think it was in the early days of COVID. People were just gathering together so they can get sick and get it over with. Yeah, that hasn't stopped. 2 years now. Yeah, exactly. So those are the ones that I say, don't do that. You never know when someone you know is immunocompromised. You don't know until it's too late. That's the problem with it. She says, I feel like I live in a parallel universe. Life and culture and society and just everything about being alive is in the other one. I have never felt more forgotten in my life. Oh, I feel bad for this lady. And this lady, if you look at her, she looks normal, okay? And when I say that, when you see her, you'll be like, you have something wrong with you? You wouldn't know it because, again, she looks normal. And the reality is people that have problems with COVID, especially 3, 4, 5, and 6 that are going to come out, you're going to find out all the problems you have that you didn't know you have, and you're at a young, healthy age. So this is her. She's smiling, thank goodness. Dawn Gibson, but she's had to miss important events due to COVID-19. And I say this, you know what? At least we have Zoom. At least we have, phones. At least we have video that we can actually kind of participate. Just say, hey, can you, put your phone there and then pretend like I'm there? Because I think that's the way to do it for people that are, suffering like this. And don't think about, don't forget, but people don't think about it. Immunocompromised people when they have cancer, AIDS, HIV, and or other things that we don't even know about, right? Leukemia is a different form of cancer, usually in the blood. There's a lot of things that people, sometimes they kind of go missing from us because they're fighting something along the way, okay? Recently I had a friend die, unfortunately. Her name is Sarah Hianaro, and she was on our show talking about some really good stuff about COVID, but she died of cancer, and she died, with her family, and they're suffering for it, So there's a lot of people sometimes we forget. All right, I promised the video, so I'm going to show the video right here in a little while after these messages. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. Join West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants each Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. Daryl focuses on successful businesses from California's southern border to Canada, including the great border states of Arizona and Nevada. Every week, Daryl provides in-depth discussions and interviews with prominent leaders and innovators that makes all of our lives better and more productive. West Coast Business Review with Daryl McCants, Wednesdays at 4 o'clock p.m. right here on Smart Talk Radio.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness, 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the Tax Relief Hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control, and in many cases, get the breathing room you need. Garnished wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We've got Jesse Sanchez over there. And I just want to say again, I want to do a big shout out to those that are kind of reaching out to us and giving us ideas for the second book of the series. This book comes out tomorrow on barnesandnoble.com. It's a butterfly story. Let me go full screen here so you don't think Jesse's promoting this. Although I know, Jesse, you're going to like the second one of the series. This one, maybe, but I think the second one's definitely one you're going to like. But this one, a butterfly story. I'll do a read-along as well and, kind of give you kind of a glimpse of this. But it's something that I hope you guys will pick up, whether it be ebook and or at Barnes & Noble or on Amazon, which is coming out soon. It's all right there for you to read. And so far, I've gotten really good feedback from actually parents that just read it by themselves and some that actually read it to their kids, at least the first few pages. I haven't read the whole thing because I haven't released the whole thing, but it's something that I know that you guys will appreciate and you're going to like along the way. Now, having said that, the second book is one that I kind of put up a little trailer on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. It's called A Good Man, and I actually am hoping that you'll be able to see that one. I'll post it again today and maybe get your feedback on it. We've gotten some good feedback from someone who said, hey, it's hard to talk about this, so if you could do it in a good way and you bring awareness about it, even better. But along the way, I've been able to team up with people in the past few years, honestly, that talk about this sort of thing. That's when people ask me, how do you know about it? It's because I've been made to be aware of it. Now, sometimes I share my story of my stepfather who had this as growing up. He told me a lot of things that his father did to him that were all bad, okay? And sometimes I hear it from other people that they don't like talking about, but they go, oh, you get it. I get it from that, but he stopped it early on. Did he fight it? Yeah, he did fight it. Because sometimes abused kids become abusive parents. And that's what you got to be careful of, especially if you're dating a guy and he talks about that. You want to see his behavior ahead of time. You want to see if he's kind of doing the right thing and if he's fighting it or if he's going to just give into it when he gets very angry, because that could be a thing. Because it is true, but never make it like, oh, he's the victim, because he can do something about and stop. And there's organizations that will intervene if you do not stop, okay? And I will say this. The organization that I was talking about is this one, and it's really cool. So I'm going to bring it up here on the video here. These are Bikers Against Abuse, okay? And this organization has been put together, honestly, for pretty much the kids and people to say, hey, no longer is that allowed. And this organization, they roll with the big ones, but they will see you in court with the guy that abused you, either physically and or like any other way. And they will join you at court as a group, and they will support you 100%. This is the organization that I say, if you're going to look at one to donate, you donate to this. Look at this one, Rhythm. She's a former BACA child, meaning that they go and support them just like that. And they will be there for you all the way through. That way you have support. That way you know you have a team behind you. And that way you could say, hey, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say it's wrong. And it is wrong, 100%. This is an organization that organizations like Children's Advocacy Center and other ones that know of abuse will team you up with. Do these guys get along with policemen? Oh, yeah, they get along with them. But again, policemen are kind of like scared to be around them. And if policemen are scared to be around them, I'm telling you right now, that's who you want at your side. Because you have a police officer around you, people aren't scared. But when you have guys like, and women that are like, nah, man, I'm going to hurt you if you do this again. These are kids that grow up, and they grow up more better for having known organizations like this one that team up with you, will ride to you, and do the right thing by being there in your corner. Because they know what abuse is, and they know what it causes. Some of them have been abused as young kids. Some of them went to a gang because they got abused. There are gangs like this that, they get into gangs because they get abused. But these ones, they've worked through their issues. They've gone through it. They like riding more than anything. They team up. They've gone through their days in, what they went through back in the day, but they're organized enough to say, okay, we do background checks, we check in regularly with each other, and you know what? It bolsters goodness for everyone when the kid sees the team like this. And that's what they end up being. They become the team for people. I love that. No child deserves to live in fear. I love that. And they give, what do you think, Jesse? You're watching it. What do you think?
No, I love this idea. I also love this idea for domestic abusers. Like, say they need to move out. You get these guys to watch your back as you get your clothes, whatever you want out of your apartment, home, whatever. This way you are not attacked by your domestic abuser.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more people that are in the know of the situation, the less the person will do eventually anyway. When abusers abuse, they don't want anybody to know. And that's the problem. When they don't want anybody to know, they get away with it again and again and again. That's why I say team up with an organization like this that can do the right thing. These are basically the bees of the story that I have in my first book about a caterpillar who could, because he has a bad crow come at him who wants to eat him alive. But he teams up with the bees that have the stinger. These are the bees, man. These are the ones that say, as a group, hey, man, we roll with you. You roll with us. We stick together and we stay strong, right? I'm telling you, even the ladies in this biker gang know what it's like to be abused, sometimes sexually. And this is the thing that they may not say publicly, but they know, hey, I'm here for a reason, okay? You remind me of me. And if I had that when I was young, guess what? I would have been ahead of it. But when they go with you to court against a perpetrator, that's what they're showing right here, right now. They roll with you, and they live up to it, and they roll just like that. You in the middle, and they around you. Look at this. This is the scene that I say is real, by the way. They will go into court with you, all around you, saying, you know what? We have your back. We believe you, we trust you, and we are not going to let you feel weak in the end. What do you think about that, Jesse?
No, I love it, and I just flash back to a movie that just reminded me of. Have you seen The New Guy?
Have I seen The New Guy? No.
So it's about this skinny kid. He has this traumatic event in his high school, so he ends up going to jail to toughen himself up. And so I don't know why the jail people are super nice to him, but he's there. They learn from him. And so he goes to a new school, and then the prison that he was in, they helped him out by making him seem like he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
So they dropped him off while he was chained up, like if he was in a psych ward.
Yeah.
And they had all the guards around him, and so once they unlocked them, they're all like, all right, everyone back in the truck, go, 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 go. And everyone's all like, what the heck is this? But it's all just to cause fear in the bullies. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for those watching our video program, I know those of you on the audio, you can't really hear what we're showing. But when you have a perpetrator across from you and you're a little kid and you have to confess and you have to say something to the judge and the attorney, and they put you on the spot. There's a lot of fear, okay? There's a lot of people looking at you. But when you have a whole team on your side just sitting there, trust me, that says something to everyone. That says, look, stand up for right, stand up for truth, stand up for good, stand up for what you need. And then you find your strength, you find you're not alone, and guess what? These people will be your friends forever, okay? Because they see you grow up, they see you, go on with your life, and they see you get ahead of it, okay? So that's what I say. Organizations like this, again, if you can go ahead and support an organization like this organization, I say, is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm glad they put this video together because I would tell people that they do this, and I think they thought people didn't really know what they do, and this video proves it, okay? It's on their website and also on their Facebook page. Go like them, okay, and support them because you never know when you're going to need that. And they have access to organizations that can help you get the perpetrator, just to be in court, okay? So that's what this book kind of alludes to. It's a butterfly story. Let me go full screen on this for you guys. Whoops, wrong one. Here it is, a butterfly story. There's kind of a very, how do I say? Like, that's why I want to read it to school members, because the part about the crow is really about stranger danger, okay? And you have to team up, you have to tell someone, and when you team up and tell someone, then you know you're not alone, and then the crow goes away, okay? He says, oh, shoot, right? And he goes off with his life. There are bad crows, and there are good crows, and he's a bad crow, just so you know. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, but again, organizations like this, you got to support. They're awesome. They're great for the kids. They're great for the abused victims, and they're great for the bullies of life, right? Because bullies need to stop being bullies, right, Jesse?
Yes, they are. You do not need to pick on other people, but then you have to ask yourself, why is the bully being that way?
Hey, you know what? It's interesting you say that. I remember telling a abused kid, I said, I can almost guarantee he has a problem at his home, right? And that's why I say to parents and teachers and facilitators that are at the school, it's your job to stand up and say, okay, what's happening at the home? Especially during COVID, because some of these kids do become bullies because they're abused at home. All right, so I always say, make sure you're aware of it, but again, help the person out. Okay, so all right, people, make it a great day. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I can imagine some kids, sometimes they listen with their parents, and sometimes they listen from the other room, because I've been told sometimes, like, hey, you just said that on the air. I have my little one watching. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that. So sometimes that's why we always go, okay, it's a morning show. Remember the little kids, keep it G as much as possible. But for the kids, again, I know a lot of kids are like, how can I get, in with this team, right? You have to have a couple of things. One, you got to know the team, okay? So get on Facebook and like them. That's number one. Number two is get with an organization that will help you facilitate the situation, because you have to kind of know who to get. But even if you report it to them on their Facebook, they hopefully will respond, and they'll put you with the people that can help you because they're teamed up with all these organizations. That's why they're so large. So again, for those wondering, it is on Facebook and or on their website. But I would go to their Facebook because you can message them from your mom's account. Right? Bikers Against Child Abuse International, okay, or BakaWorld.org. They have 608,000 people that like that page. You will not be alone. Just like it, comment on it, say, I need help, and then you'll be able to get the help that you need. Because I say this, when you get with people like this, you are 100% taken care of along the way. And, you know, some people go, well, are they going to know my story? Shoot, they have their own story. That's why they're doing this for the kids. It's not to make them look good, because it takes time out of their day to do this, okay? But they want to because in you, they see themselves, okay? And they see why they roll with a gang like that. When you see an organization like this, like that, I mean, Jesse, what does that make you feel? I mean, I know you were never abused, thank God. But if you were abused, would you feel like empowered to have a group like this be at your side and actually join you to court to testify against the perpetrator?
Oh man, I would be excited. That'd probably be like the only happy thing in my life at that point.
Yeah.
Just this group of people behind me and support me and stuff like that. No, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's why I love organizations like that. And organizations like Children's Advocacy Center and Children's Advocacy groups, like the one that's in my own backyard, which I'll be meeting with her hopefully in about a week or so. She's the one who introduced me to what they do. And when she said sometimes they get like cases where they're like a year old. Now, I will say, she said sometimes it's a mother who wants to go against a guy, so they kind of like coach the kid to say some things, but they can weed that out. And they know to keep kind of a neutral side. But sometimes when kids say certain things that they just know, no, you're not alone. Sometimes kids say the same thing again and again and again. They just need it recorded. So they put you in a good, nice environment. It's like a home environment, and not like a. Some people think like they have to go to like, and some do actually, and this is where cops kind of don't get it right. When they put them into like a room like they would like a perpetrator, that's not good for a young kid, okay? You're going to scare the kid, okay? And they're going to give wrong information along the way. Sometimes even therapists get it wrong because they kind of coach the kid in a wrong way and they lead the kid. Organizations like this know not to lead the kid, just let the kid kind of lead you, and then you kind of enhance by asking a certain set of questions that help you get to the truth of what happened. But it depends on the age group. But when you are a person who has to do this for an organization like this, and they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you got to deal with each one differently. Boys are different from girls. Girls are different from boys. And the situation has to be found out. So at the end of the day, if you know of a situation like this, or you are the one that is in a situation like this, then give us a holler, and we'll put you in touch with the right organization, all right? But organizations like this have world, okay? So I think I'm going to put them in a book of their own, probably The Stingers That Could or something like that. I don't know. All right, people, we're going to see you around the corner. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, and that's the end of our radio show. But here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I know a lot of you always tune in from everywhere. Whenever you say hello, we appreciate it. We got Tanya Roscoe tuning in, Renee Matos, Mark Blevins, and others tuning in on Twitter and on LinkedIn. We appreciate you. I just want to give a quick nod to the people that do these things, okay? It's a very serious situation. It's a very serious program, and it's something that you have to do right. So I'm going to show this video again. I'm going to show it, and hopefully they won't ding me on it. I think they will ding me a little, but let me just show it anyway. And again, if you missed it, this is what I appreciate about organizations like this. This guy was the international president from 2006 to 2008. Okay, Tree is what he goes by. And they all go by certain names as they roll, when they roll, how they roll, right? But as most bikers know, they've had run-ins with the law, okay? It's kind of just a thing. But how do they get into the run-ins? They get into the run-ins, honestly, because of anger, because of being mean, because of being sad, and sometimes being abused. A lot of these kids who grow up to be adults, who grow up to be older adults, are honestly abused victims. And a lot of them teamed up with a team and then just got out of Dodge. They didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to be around it anymore, right? So they just got out of the way of their own family, and they said, you know what, forget it. I'm going to roll with my friends. My friends are better than you. And some of them come from delinquent mothers. Some of them come from delinquent fathers. And some of them come from people who do not care. But at the end of the day, if you do care about organizations like this, and I can almost guarantee you that young girl's story is one of abuse in a really bad way, okay? And did her mom do the right thing? Yes. Did she report it? Yes. Did she stand up for her child? Yes. Did she maybe delay in it? I do not know. But this young woman is one who remembers what it was like to be young and have a team behind her to say, we're going to be behind you all the way. Now, is it hard for women like this to actually speak up and tell the truth? Yes. Is it hard saying, who's going to believe me? Who's going to do the right thing? Yes. I don't know at what age she was that she had this situation happen. But when she had it happen, she had an organization like this one to defend her, to walk her into court and be with her all the way through. And that's what kids sometimes, they don't even know they need it, but they do. And when they have that and they come with you to your home and they pick you up and they roll with you to the court, you are always going to be supported no matter what. And you're going to find a friend along the way, because these all have their own stories. And they say, look, we defend you, we appreciate you, and we know you're going to have it hard going all the way through. But we're going to do the right thing, and we're going to support you all the way through. And some of these stories are ones that will totally tell. I mean, people don't like to tell about these stories, but these stories have to be told, because these kids grow up when they have the support in a good way. But if they don't have the support, they bury it, and they bury it, and they bury it. They bury it all the way through. And when they bury it, they hate to come out with it, because they don't want to say it. They don't want to share it. They don't want people to look at them weird. But an organization like this, they know, hey, we can defend you. We have our own story. We'll be there the whole way. And they take time out of their day. A lot of them have jobs. A lot of them have day jobs. A lot of them do other things. But they say, hey, we're going to do the right thing. We're going to support you. We're going to be there for you. We may not know your story, but we're there for you all the way through. Now, do they hear your story in court? Oh, yeah, they hear your story. They know everything in court. But at the end of the day, when you have to go to court, and a lot of people do, in order to put away a perpetrator, nobody asks the hard question, what is going to be asked of you, right? What is going to be asked of you is very important. What you're going to say is very important. And if you just stick to the truth and you just say the truth, you will not need to be afraid. Now, are you going to be afraid? Yes, of course, because you're going to have your perpetrator right across from you. And he's going to look at you, and he's going to stare at you, and he's going to sneer at you, and he's going to do his thing to intimidate you. But when you have a whole team by your side, and you have a whole team going with you, rolling up to the courthouse, going, hey, we are there with you no matter what. We will do what we need to do in order to keep you safe. We will do what we need to do in order to keep you alive. We will do what we need to do to keep you ready for any sad bad guy at the end of the day. Because this person's the victim, not the other guy. And that's the problem with this world. So many people come to the fore of the wrong guy, the bad guy, the guy who pretends to be victim, but he's not victim. When you abuse a little child like this who cannot defend themselves, you say, I'm dumb because you are dumb. You're stupid. Okay, I call those people stupid. I don't call kids like this stupid. That's dumb. But here's the reality. When you have a whole team like this, I call them the stingers of the world because they can sting. And you have a guy look like this, and he comes out looking mean and evil, and the kind of guy that you're like, I don't know if I want to report this because this guy actually dated my mom, or worse yet, this guy is my father. Then guess what? You have a team that say, hey, we may be, oh, that's right, not few, but many. All right, at the end of the day, they're many. And that's what you want at your side. You want a whole team of stingers, ones that can sting and sting and sting and sting. Because at the end of the day, oh, guess what? Yeah, the guy who abused a little kid, even he's afraid. He just doesn't say so, right? In this video, he doesn't really look around. But if he looked around, he would be like, oh, shoot, oh, shoot, oh, shoot, right? That's what he would do. So when the kid is asked, please state your case, please state what happened, yeah, this is the thing that they have to do, unfortunately. And that's hard. That's very hard. But when you have a team like that, you say, nope, that's the guy. He's the mean one. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I hate him. That's the right thing to do, to hate a guy like that. Because who knows what this guy did along the way, right? Does he deserve to go to jail? Yes. Is there sometimes situations like that where they have a court case, where they have other people look at you, and an attorney is defending him going, oh, don't worry, I'll get you out? Yeah, it is hard. It is difficult. It is not fun. These cases that these organizations have to hear are really, 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 really terrible. They're horrible. And the ones that you go, are you kidding me? You did that to this little bright child? No. You did this to this little kid? No. All right. You have a team who will support you, who will be there for you. And they don't just do that once. They stay with you all the way through. That way you say, you know what? I can get through this. I can get through this. I can stand up for right. I can stand up for truth. I can stand up for what's just. And that guy has to go to prison. And you know what? Judges need to see that. Because some judges are way too lax on perpetrators. And they need to see, hey, these guys, girls, women, and other people that actually support do the right thing. They go out of the way to support a young child. Okay? If you think of like Sons of Anarchy or Mayans, I'm telling you, I mean, they do some pretty things that you go, whoa. But if organizations like this actually did the right thing, even gang members, okay, if gang members who wanted to show that they proved true to reforming themselves and getting out of Dodge and getting out of the things that they do, and they do the right thing, they have their own vetting organization, I can almost guarantee you, without a doubt, they could do the right thing by the child in their own location, right? And these are cases that happen all the time, but they go unfounded because the kid doesn't think he has anyone in their corner, right? Or at their side. And that's the problem. When you have no one at your side, you have no one to defend you, you feel alone. You feel trapped. You feel scared. You feel afraid. But when you have an organization like this to say, hey, roll with us. And they do. They actually give out a coat like this. They do it for the kid. They do the right thing. So BACA, or Bikers Against Child Abuse, keep doing your thing. You're doing the right thing. Keep the sting sharp, keep it ready, and keep it alive. That's how you do. That's how you roll. You get it? All right, people, make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.